Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Boker Tov, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome here to Congregation Ner Shalom in Cotati, California, where we are sitting at very safe social distance from each other. It's a morning where the building is cold, and we are grateful that the building is cold because it's a nice chilly day outside, which is helpful right now for us. And the building is also a little chilly because it's been longing to have some people here and longing to have some music happening. And today we're going to be doing that as well. So I want to welcome everyone into the room. I want to welcome our Benot Mitzvah today, Sheridan Gold and Sharlya Gold. I want to welcome my colleague, Rabbi Michael Shefrin from Temple Emanuel in Sarasota, Florida, coming to us live from afternoon time, from Mincha time, visiting us through a temporal anomaly here in our Shachrit. Today we're here to celebrate Shabbat together. I know we think that like we're here to do this other thing, but we're actually here to bring in Shabbat, to embody Shabbat, to feel it pouring through us, to feel that holiness pouring into us and out of our fingertips and out of our mouths as we sing words of praise. And we are here to honor Sheridan and Sharlya, who have brought such light into our lives and are now bringing such light of Torah into our lives as well. And you're going to see that this is going to be, if you are used to Shabbat morning services, this is going to be an unusual Shabbat morning service that's really the product of Sharlya and Sheridan's creativity. If you are not used to being in a Shabbat service, if you've never been to a Shabbat service, then they're all just like this. We're doing this during a time that we can't be together in the same place. And the blessing of this time is that we can all be here in the same Zoom room. We have 95 logins right now, a lot of which have multiple people in them. So this is a big crowd, and it would feel like a big crowd in this room, except that nobody had to get on a plane and travel. Nobody had to drive. Nobody had to deal with all of the stuff that takes them out of the mood of Shabbat. We're all able to breathe deeply in our own homes. So I'm going to ask us all to take a nice deep breath. Why don't we take another one and see if you can breathe right into your heart. Think about breathing into your heart. We are together in this heichal, in this palace of many rooms that forms this Zoom room. A couple of things about Zoom is that something could go wrong. We're doing some complex things today, and some things could go wrong. And we know that everyone in the room will be patient. And if something strange happens, just keep singing. If the room suddenly disappears, just sign back in. And we will continue to celebrate Shabbat together. Want to ask everyone to please be mindful of their mute buttons. If you have cause to unmute, and you know who you are, you'll unmute and you'll do your thing, and then you'll remute. And everyone else, please just mind where your fingers are on your tablets and phones, because additional voices in the room can be distracting. If you are on a device and you're going to move from one place to another with your device, I ask you to stop your video before you move from place to place, because for some of us, it can be really dizzying to see the movement of your camera. I'm sure there are other things that I should say or could say, and I don't know what they are. So I want to welcome you. We'll know, as soon as it happens, we'll know. So I want to welcome you, and I want to ask everyone to take a moment and put in the chat, just introduce yourself, tell us your name, and how you are connected to Sheridan or Sharlya, or if you are just coming in as a first-time spectator of the wonder of Shabbat. So go ahead and put that in the chat, and let's see who's here.
chat. That's not the chat. This is the chat.
All these beautiful names of beautiful people. I'm picturing each of these Zoom rooms as a tent, and we're the encampment of Israel. And as all these messages are pouring into the chat, all I can say is Matovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. How beautiful are your tents, O Jacob, your holy dwelling places, Israel. I'd like to welcome our chant leader, Atzila, who is going to help us welcome our souls back into our bodies, welcome the reignition of our awareness, of our consciousness on this new and holy day.
Elohai Nishma Shinatata Bi Tehora Hi Elohai Nishma Shinatata Bi Tehora Hi Elohai Nishma Shinatata Bi Tehora Hi Elohai Nishma Shinatata Bi Tehora Hi. Oh, pure soul, in you I see endless possibilities. Oh, pure soul, in you I see endless possibilities. Elohai Nishma Shinatata Bi Tehora Hi Elohai Nishma Shinatata Bi Tehora Hi. Shinatata Bi Tehora Hi Elohai Nishama Shinatata Bi Tehora
It's our custom on Shabbat morning to pray wrapped in a shawl, so that we always feel enveloped, always feel the embrace of the divine in our soulfulness together. So Sheridan is going to tell us a little bit about her new talit, her mother's new talit, and then they'll make the blessing for us and we'll all don them.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. When I was reading everyone who's here and how you're saying how you know us, it's just very touching.
Hello, we can't hear you.
Do I need to unmute myself? Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on just a sec. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Okay, great. Just, Suzanne magic. That's all we got to do. Say, Suzanne, this isn't working, and she gets it to work. So what I was saying is I loved watching or reading everybody, how you introduced yourselves, and thank you so much for doing that. It was very moving to me. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my mom's talit. But before I tell you about my mom's talit, I have to tell you about my talit. And the one that I'm going to tell you about, I'm not even going to wear today. It's going to be on top of the Torah table. So when you see me chanting Torah, if you glimpse on Erwin's pointing at it. You see like this turquoise cloth that's kind of coming down. That's the talit that I made with Stephanie Brown 2 summers ago. She's a member of our temple, and she used to do this as a business, make talit and sell them. And I don't know the name for plural talit, Erwin.
Talitot or talesim?
All right, talitot. So anyway, Stephanie offered a class, and I took the class. Renat and several other people took the class, and we made gorgeous talitot. And so when it was time,
You can carry in a talitot bag.
That's Erwin,
That's
y'all.
rabbi humor.
If you don't know Erwin, you're getting to know Erwin. He's amazing. Talitot. I'll never forget that now. All right. So anyway, when I told Stephanie and other people that I was going to have a bat mitzvah with my mom, Stephanie said, well, you want to make your mom a talit? I said, yeah, great. So that was in February. So then March comes along and we talk on the phone. Oh, well, we'll get together in August. No big deal. August comes along and we can't be together. So we decide to make the talit over Zoom. So Stephanie did all the hard manual labor, and Sheridan did the musical accompaniment. So Stephanie got the colors together. We made decisions on what I think my mom would like. I wrote my mom, what do you like? She didn't know what I was talking about. And so finally we came up with the color palette, and we came up with a day, and Stephanie actually did the silk dyeing of the talit. And I played a lot of music that we play here at Ner Shalom on my silver flute. All right, so then it's done. It needs to dry for 2 days. She has to cure it, and then she sends it to the seamstress that puts the buttonholes in all the corners and the hems around, make it look really nice. So then we get together another day, and probably 2 weeks later. And now it's time to tie the tzitzit in the corners. And Stephanie said, well, I like to do it with intentions in each corner. So let's set some intentions for your mom. So every corner we set either physical, one corner was mental, one corner was emotional, and the last corner was spiritual. So as I played my handpan, and you heard that last night at Shabbat services, and Suzanne played our beautiful piece, Red-Shouldered Hawk, I played handpan with each corner that Stephanie tied the tzitzit for. And the spiritual corner is the one that has the longest string, and we had to make sure it was on the left-hand corner because my mom's left-handed. So there was a lot to go into this beautiful talit, and then we Stephanie sent it to my mom, and then my mom opened it on Zoom with me there, and I recorded the whole thing. She's never had a talit before, and it is quite beautiful, and you will see it now.
Sharlya, will you hold up the talit?
What is this?
Show it.
Oh.
Beautiful.
I feel so honored to have you two wearing them. They're beautiful.
What? So could you say that again, Stephanie?
I just feel so honored that you're both going to be using them to celebrate your bat mitzvahs together. I just love it. Mazel tov. We love you.
Thank you. Love you back. That's Stephanie, everybody, who made the talit for my mom.
Sharlya, do you want to say the blessing and don your talit as the mitzvah
yes.
would offer?
Right now?
Go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahit emet no etef atef but tzitzit.
Amen.
Amen. Oh, so beautiful, Mom.
Toll gesund.
And then about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, I got a talit in the mail from my older sister Allison and her husband JV. And it is so gorgeous, and it's my favorite colors in the world, purple. It is so beautiful that I decided, instead of wearing the one I made that I wear all the time, I'll wear this one. This will be my special one. And it's so weird because Stephanie said, well, you know, Sheridan, it's traditional to wear a white talit on Yom Kippur. And I went, I didn't know that. And now I got a special talit for High Holy Days. Well, thank you so much, Allison and JV. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahita teif basitzit.
Amen. So now that we're enveloped and embraced, Leah is going to help us wake up back into our bodies, the miracle of our bodies. Leah?
The miracle of our bodies, our souls, our minds, our hearts are already tingling from the glorious love, the manifest beauty that these beings we've just been seeing and hearing from have offered. So let's just close our eyes for a second. Notice the quiet within ourselves, or the tumult, or the hallelujahs. Bring them in. They dominate this morning. They are the message that we look for from our greater selves, from those selves standing in the great Mishkan, from our soul's essence. And let us feel the tingling of our skin and be grateful for these holy garments which we as souls wear. Let us be aware of the blessing of our minds, that we think are in here, but are so much bigger. And let them open to show us the beauty of all creation in this moment. And let us say thank you. And let us be aware of our eyes, which take in beautiful talitot and rainy weather, and of our noses, which sniff the scent of our morning coffee, and of our hearts beating, keeping us alive, and of our mouths, which can offer prayer and thanks and hallelujah, and we love you, Sharlya and Sheridan. And let us stretch up to the heavens with our hands and our arms as far as we can and say, I am here, Hineni, in this moment, in this Mishkan, and how lucky I am. And let us bend to one side and then to another, like great trees, blessing, and forward and back. And if we can, let us scrunch up our knees and our shoulders and our toes, and then release and be fully present to this marvelous moment. And let us say, thank you. Thank you, maker of our bodies, for allowing us to be present in body, mind, spirit, soul, and love. Amen.
We open up the room, we open up our hearts, we open up our homes with words of praise. Hallelujah. Let everything praise the angels, the heavens, the sun, the moon, and the water that is above the heavens that we hope soon will rain down on our parched earth in California. Hallelujah. This is a gift from the Good Shabbos Band.
Hallelujah, Adonai min hashamayim. Hallelujah, b'meromim. Hallelujah, kol malachav. Hallelujah, kol tziva'av. Hallelujah, shemesh v'yareach. Hallelujah, kol kochvei or. Hallelujah, shmei hashamayim ve'hamayim. Asher me'al hashamayim. Yehallelu et Shem Adonai ki hu tziva v'nivra'u vaya'amidem la'ad le'olam chok natan v'lo yavor. Yehallelu et Shem Adonai ki hu tziva v'nivra'u vaya'amidem la'ad le'olam chok natan v'lo yavor. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Adonai min hashamayim. Hallelujah, b'meromim. Hallelu kol malachav, Hallelu kol zeva'av, Hallelu shemesh ve'yareach, Hallelu kol kochvei or, Hallelu shmei hashamayim ve'hamayim, asher me'al hashamayim. יהללו את שם אדוני כי הוא ציווה ונבראו ויעמידם לעד לעולם חוק נתן ולא יעבור יהללו את שם אדוני כי הוא ציווה ונבראו ויעמידם לעד לעולם חוק נתן ולא יעבור
We continue our words of praise with the last verse of our book of Psalms. Kol hanshama hallelujah, hallelujah. Let every breath, let every soul praise you, Yah.
Shalya Kol Haneshama
Thank you, Lorenzo. And thank you, members of the Good Shabbos Band. We continue with Nishmat Kol Chai, which is on page 4 of your Sidur. Nishmat Kol Chai Tevarech et Shimcha. It continues on the same theme of Kol Hanshama. Let every breath itself be praised. Let every breath bless God's name. Nishmat Kol Chai Tevarech et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. Nishmat Kol Chai Tevarech et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. Nishmat Kol Chai Tevarech et Shimcha Havaya Eloheinu. Nishmat Kol Chai Tevarech et Shimcha Nishmat Kol Chai Tevarech et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. Nishmat Kol Chai Tevarech et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. So if you are all ready, then it's time for us to presence ourselves, for us to announce our presence before our Creator, before the Great Spirit of this cosmos. And we do that with the Baruch Hu. It's customary to stand for this, but the custom we have at Ner Shalom during this time of Zoom is to rise in our attention and our intention. If you would like to rise in your physical space, you're welcome to do that, but it takes you out of our shared Zoom sanctuary. So bring all of your energy to let your spirit elevate as Susie leads us in Am I Awake, Baruch, which is on page 5 of your handout.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada-da-da-da, 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 yada-da-da-da. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Le'olam Va'ed. Yada-da-da-da, 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 yada-da-da-da.
Thank you, Susie. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam yotzer or uvorich choshech choseh shalom uvoreat hakol. Blessed are you, Eternal One, Sovereign of all worlds, who fashions light and creates darkness, Maker of peace and Creator of all. We sing a piyut, which is a medieval prayer poem called, this one is inserted into this prayer that I just started reciting, the Yotzer Or prayer. It's called Ha'aderet v'ha'emunah. It's a Hebrew alphabetic one that goes in alphabetical order. And the story behind this, the story goes that the paitan, that the rabbi who composed this piyut, that he had a vision of the divine palace, and he saw all of the angels doing all of their praise of God, and these were the words that they were singing, and all he did was transcribe them. Ha'aderet v'ha'emunah. It's very easy to sing along the line that goes, L'chai olamim, which means the life of the worlds. God is the life of the worlds. Page 6. Ha'aderet v'ha'emunah, L'chai olamim, הבינה והברכה לחי עולמים, הגאווה והגדולה לחי עולמים, הדעה והדיבור לחי עולמים, לחי, לחי, לחי עולמים, לחי, לחי, לחי עולמים, ההוד וההדר לחי עולמים, הוועד והוותיקו לחי עולמים, הזך והזוהר לחי עולמים, החיל והחוסן לחי עולמים, לחי, לחי, לחי עולמים, לחי, לחי, לחי עולמים, התכס והטוהר לחי עולמים, הייחוד והיראה לחי עולמים, הכתר והכבוד לחי עולמים, הלקח והליבוב לחי עולמים, לחי, לחי, לחי עולמים, לחי, לחי, לחי עולמים, המלוכה והממשלה לחי עולמים, הנוי והנצח לחי עולמים, הסיגוי והשגב לחי עולמים, העוז והענווה לחי עולמים, לחי, לחי, לחי עולמים, לחי, לחי, לחי עולמים, הפדות והפאר לחי עולמים, הצבי והצדק לחי עולמים, הקריאה והקדושה לחי עולמים, הארון והרוממות לחי עולמים, השיר והשבח לחי עולמים, התהילה והתפארת לחי עולמים, לחי, לחי, 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 לחי עולמים. We continue this prayer of light and dark and holiness with words from Diana.
Myself. Sorry about that. Thank you for this amazing day. In praise of this natural world, a beautiful gift to embrace, contemplate, and meditate. We wake and we sleep and we dream in the belly of the life force that moves throughout the universe, roaming the stars and galaxies, embodying the omnipotent trees, and gracefully gliding and riding the temperaments of our waters. God, thank you for this amazing day. Spirits abound, angelic beings swarming the circumference of our lives. creating an atmosphere of presence. God, thank you. Thank you for this bountiful earth, a soul's refuge. Thank you for the light and the pathways to internal goodness. Thank you for this healing, this sharing of wisdom, and this expression of love. Thank you for this amazing day. Blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. Blessed are you, creator of heaven's lights.
Shema Yisrael, Yah Eloheinu, Yah Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Yah Eloheinu, Yah Echad. Shema Yisrael, Yisrael, Yah
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, ושיתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושבחך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
And you shall love the Chavaya with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
Continue with Mi Chamocha on page 8. I got a message that maybe you were hearing me harmonize during that, and apologies if that messed up the sound. Mi Chamocha, our song of joy at crossing the Red Sea, a reminder that great deliverances are available to us even now in this seemingly miracle-free time, because the children of Israel were also living in a time that had defeated their sense of miracle until it happened. Anything can happen, and we can make it happen. Mi Chamocha on page 8. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai בקודש, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלך, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלך. שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים, לשמך על שפת הים. יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder bakodesh. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלך, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלך. At the sea, by the sea, we sang, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Blessed are you of all existence, in whom we find the possibility, the probability, the certainty of great change. We move into our hearts now. We dive into our hearts for a prayer, a series of prayers. Whatever your heart needs to say, what needs to be brought to your attention, what needs to be brought to God's attention, your gratitude, your love, regret, it could happen, sadness that we're all feeling, hope that we dare not hope. Find the prayer in your heart. There will be music to listen to. You can just sink into the music and let your heart open. If nothing's coming, say oi. And then again, say oi. It's all in there, in you. Past, future, life and death, holiness, Shabbat, and peace. See where it leads you. See how it calls you. May the words of your heart, may the words of our heart be a blessing. Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagit tehilatecha. We move into our silent prayer. יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Amma amma day, oh amma amma day, amma amma day, oh amma amma day, oh amma amma day, oh amma amma day, amma amma day, oh amma amma day, ki mitzion. Tetzei Torah u'devar Adonai mehar Sinai ki mitzion. Tetzei Torah u'devar Adonai mehar Sinai. And carve our love right in the stone. Won't you teach me on the mountain and lift my soul and lift my soul. Oh, Amma Amma day, oh, Amma Amma day. Amma Amma day, oh, Amma Amma day. Oh, Amma Amma day, oh, Amma Amma day. Amma Amma day, oh, Amma Amma day. Ki mitzion, tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai, mehar Sinai.
No, leave him on.
Ki
Leave him on.
mitzion, tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai, mehar Sinai. Won't you meet me on the mountain and carve our love right in the stone? Won't you teach me on the mountain and lift my soul and lift my soul?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shmo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Amma Amma day, oh Amma Amma day, Amma Amma day, oh Amma Amma
Take the
day,
little finger off.
oh Amma Amma day, oh
No, over here,
Amma
over here.
Amma day. Amma Amma day, oh Amma Amma day, oh
Now you
Amma
take this
Amma
off.
day, oh Amma Amma day,
Good job.
Amma Amma day, oh Amma Amma day,
Oh,
Amma Amma day, oh Amma Amma day, Amma Amma day, oh Amma Amma day.
Take, put that over there, Diane.
So Sharlya and Rabbi Shefrin. Sharlya will be doing the first Torah reading today. Sharlya and Sheridan chose to dive into the book to the beginning. Go back to the beginning. Start at the beginning. Go back to the creation of the world and the creation of humanity. Rabbi Shefrin, if you could unmute from your end so that we can hear you. Sharlya, you are spotlighted, and also our Torah cam is, so we'll be following you and people can see the words.
Your music was beautiful.
Shalom from Sarasota, Florida, everybody. Sharlya, I want to kiss the Torah here, right at the very upper corner. And I get the honor, the great blessing of calling you up to the Torah by your Hebrew name. Ta'amod la'aliyah labat mitzvah. What a great mazal for all of us, a great simcha to celebrate with you. This is really special and exciting. Ta'amod la'aliyah labat mitzvah, Esther bat Avraham v'Selma. You please offer the blessing before.
Okay. Baruch Ata Adonai Hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher B'Harbanu Mikol Ha'amim V'Natan Lanu et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If you'll put one hand on the Torah.
All right.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Breshit bara Elohim et hashamayim va'et ha'aretz. V'ha'aretz hayato tohu v'vohu v'choshech al panei tahom v'ruach Elohim marachet al panei hamayim v'yomer Elohim Yahi or Vayehi or Vayar Elohim et Haor Kito Vayodel Elohim Vein Haor Uvein Hashochech Vayakra Elohim Laor Yom Valacher Choshech Kara Laila Vayahi Erev Vayahi Boker Yom Echad.
Woo! I am so proud of quelling.
No.
That was amazing. The blessing after, please.
Okay.
Do you want to give the kiss one more time?
Yeah. Da, da, da.
With your
The
beautiful
end.
new talit right there by the Yom Echad, like day one.
There is Echad.
There it is.
Remember him.
Beautiful.
Okay. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet Bahaye Shalom Olam Nata Bato Ken Betochen, thank you. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. And a mazel tov, mazel tov.
Thanks.
So proud of you, as I know everyone here is taking on this beautiful, beautiful venture. Would you please offer us the translation of the beautiful verses from our Torah that you just read?
I will. When God began to create the heaven and the earth being unformed and void, with darkness over the surface of the deep, and a wind from God sweeping over the water, God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw how good the light was, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, a first day.
Thank you, Sharlya.
Now, do
Charlotte,
I
I
read
know
my
that,
drop?
yes, you've prepared
Okay.
some words of Torah, some thoughts from your deepest
well.
soul, and we'd love to hear them. Please,
Okay.
please, please.
Excuse
And
me.
anytime you want to look up and say hi, you can.
Okay. I have always enjoyed the Torah portion that describes how light came into the world. The telling is in short, simple words, poetic to my ear. And when Hurricane Irma blew ashore 2 years ago and flattened everything she could reach, I appreciated the difference between light and dark all the more. She wasn't poetic. Darkness, choshech, filled every room, interrupted only by a lantern or a flashlight. Light, or could be glimpsed through hurricane shutters by braving the wind and opening the door for a moment. Irma made sure we sheltered in place, and 3 neighbors and 2 cats sheltered with us. I learned more about light that night. If you fill a gallon jar with water, set it on a table and prop a flashlight behind it, the diffused light is enough to allow 4 people to play cards. We talk about light in other ways. Someone is the light of our life, as my husband Len was and is, or brightens up a room when he or she enters. Burdens are bearable when they are lightened, and intense colors are lightened when they mix with other lights. Seeing the light at the end of a tunnel gives us hope. And of course, the Shabbos candles usher in the 7th day, the holiest of days, when we are bidden to rest and find joy in life's simple offerings. When Irma left and people could get outside, my life was lightened by the kindness of my neighbors. One man whom I had never met repaired the fence, so Cleo, our light-footed Houdini of a dog, could not run away. Another neighbor brought me something to eat. Not having a manual can opener had left my cans intact and me hungry. And then friends took me out for a meal, and when we returned home, the house suddenly blazed with lights. Let there be light, said Elohim, and there was light. This time, Florida Power and Light helped too, and there was light, for which I will be ever thankful.
Thank you for that beautiful reinterpretation of light. Oh, no, stay right there. Friends, I apologize if this is uncomfortable for everybody. I just want to lift this up a little bit because I'm taller than Sharla and be able to have both of us on the screen. Sharla, on behalf of Temple Emanuel and Reb Irwin and Sheridan and Diana, Mazel Tov to you, Diana. It's such an accomplishment for Sheridan and your whole family and all of your friends, everybody that's come here. I want to wish you a Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
You embody, just like you see Moses' feet behind us. There they are. You embody something that Moses did, which is learn through his whole life. Always seeking to be more, always seeking to grow, always admitting when things need more nourishment, more soul, more teaching. And you embody that today by tackling the Hebrew, by reading the Torah portion so beautifully. And you said to me earlier today, Sheridan and I want to keep learning Torah together. What a beautiful way to start this new year, this new Torah cycle. I want to offer a Shehechianu with everybody here in mind, this special new beginning as you become finally a Jewish adult.
Oh, God. And I'm not even 13.
It's true. You've already been living a life of mitzvot, so this just affirms that. This is such a beautiful choice you've made. And I say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who has enabled us and sustained us and given us everything we need to reach this moment at this exact place with this exact group so we could celebrate with you. Together, friends, let us say, Amen. And
Amen,
Mazel Tov,
amen.
Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for coming and being with us at this time.
Shekor, Mazel Tov.
Yasher koach, Sharla. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Tamod laliat bat mitzvah, Shoshana Leah bat Yisrael Leb ve'Esther.
Let's see. Bahu et Adonai Hamvara.
Nayam Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvara Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Ruach HaOlam Asher Kevanu La'avodato V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
והנחש היה הרום מכל חיית השדה אשר עשה אדוני אלוהים ויאמר אל האישה אף כי אמר אלוהים לא תאכלו מכל עץ הגן ותאמר האישה אל הנחש מפרי עץ הגן נאכל ומפרי העץ אשר בתוך הגן אמר אלוהים לא תאכלו ממנו ולא תיגעו בו פן תמותון. ותאמר הנחש אל האישה לא מות תמותון כי יודע אלוהים כי ביום אכלכם ממנו ונפקחו עיניכם והייתם כאלוהים יודע טוב ורע. ותרא האישה כי טוב העץ למאכל וכי טבחו לעיניים ונחמד העץ להשכיל ותיטח מפריו ותאכל ותיתן גם לאישה עמה ויאכל ותפקחנה עיני שניהם וידעו כי ערומים הם ויתפרו אלי תאנה ויעשו להם חגורות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו רוח העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. Now the serpent was more cunning than all the beasts of the field that God had made. And the serpent asked the woman, did God really say, you shall not eat of every tree in the garden? The woman replied to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the other trees of the garden, but But God said of the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden, do not eat it, and do not even touch it, or you will die. And the serpent said to the woman, you surely will not die, but God knows that as soon as you eat it, as soon as the day you eat it, your eyes will be opened and you'll be like God, knowing good and evil. So when the woman saw that the fruit was good for eating and a delight to the eyes and a desirable source of wisdom, she took the fruit and she ate it, and she gave some to her husband, and he also ate. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they perceived that they were naked. So they sewed together fig leaves and made themselves coverings.
Mazel tov.
Oh, we got to get the belt. The belt. What are we doing?
Oh, hang on. Just a moment of confusion. And you made your blessing. Oh, we're going to do a healing prayer while the Torah is still out.
Okay.
We're going to take a moment for a healing prayer. Another.
I did okay.
Hang on a moment. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
I want to hug you. So it's considered a tender moment when the Torah is out, an opportunity for us to loft our prayers for healing of our bodies, healing of our spirits, healing of our loved ones and our precious planet. The words of this prayer that we're going to do, this prayer is Ana B'choach, and it's a 42-word prayer. And the first letters of each word spell out a 42-letter name of God. And this is considered a tremendous carrier wave, this prayer. And so whatever you need to ride on this carrier wave, whatever you need to send to God's ears, this is the time to do it. The words for Ana B'choach are on page 14 of your Siddur. Ana B'choach, gdulat yemincha, tatir tzirura, kabel rinat, amcha sagleinu, tareinu nora. Ana B'choach, gdulat yemincha, tatir tzirura, kabel rinat, amcha sagleinu, Now we're going to return our Torah scrolls to the Ark, and Sheridan will give her Devar, her words of Torah, her words of teaching, after the Torah is safe and sound back in the Aron Kodesh. Etz Chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomecheha meusha deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
I just have to tell you that it was very powerful to be up there. Like, so many people have done that. So many men have done that. And just to be up there is... I have always loved snakes. Ever since I was a little girl, I felt then, and I still feel, that I am the snake's protector. When I was in the 10th grade, I'll never forget the scene. I was on the school bus, and we passed some boys who had thrown a snake, probably 6 feet long, up on the top of a wire fence. The snake was stuck there, and the boys were throwing stuff at it. My heart broke as we passed this group by. I still remember that scene so vividly. As an adult, I remember once when my cats were playing with a 6-foot snake, they poking and sniffing, the snake playing dead. I chased the cats away and gently, with the help of a shovel, lifted the snake to safety. Whenever I see a snake, I marvel at its ability to move, its tenacity at survival, its beauty and grace. One time, I was in a field looking for a lost softball, and I saw the middle of a snake. Both the head and the tail were each in a separate hole. It really was a sight to see, the snake moving and undulating from one hole to the next, like a slinky. When my mom and I talked about a date for our bat mitzvahs, she wanted to come to Cotati when it was the warmest time of the year. I knew that the summer months were usually chilly, so we decided on October, after high holidays, which brought us to this date, October 24th. And little did I know that I would be studying the Torah portion with a snake in it. Little did I know that I would reconnect with this animal that I really loved as a child and continue to love to this day, perhaps even more now. Who would have thought that my Torah study would have led me to study the snake? Who would have thought that I would have so many questions regarding just 7 verses in the Torah? Now, before I continue, I must share with you that I was very, very resistant to the stories in the Torah. I mean, to be swallowed by a whale or to live over 900 years. A very dear friend of mine, Gesher Kalmanson, helped me with my resistance by sharing this teaching with me. He told me that the Torah can be interpreted 4 different ways: literal, moral, metaphorical, or mystical. I just can't see the stories as true in a literal sense. I didn't want to learn yet another moral lesson. Metaphors are okay, but not that exciting to me. But the mystical idea, that was intriguing. That idea helped melt the walls around me, and you'll hear a little more about that later. So back to my Torah portion. I had questions like, why did the snake talk to Eve and not to Adam? Why was Adam so passive? Why did he simply do what Eve did and not have an opinion? Why is it seen that Adam and Eve disobeyed God? So like I said, I have lots of questions regarding my Torah portion, but I'd like to concentrate on the following 3. Why is the snake described as cunning or shrewd? The Torah reads, V'hanachash haya arum mikol hayat hasadeh. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast in the field. Why use the word cunning? Why not use the word, say, intelligent? Now the serpent was the most intelligent beast in the field. Doesn't that change the meaning of the interpretation, the description of the snake? It does for me, because now that the snake is seen as intelligent instead of cunning or shrewd or manipulative, the statement, you're not going to die, now gives Eve a choice. The snake was giving Eve the opportunity to use free will and make her own decision. What in the world is wrong with that? Isn't that how we want to raise our children and our grandchildren? One of my most favorite things I used to say to my students was, of all the gifts you have, remember, you have the gift of choice. And that's what Eve did. She chose. Did she die from eating the fruit? No. So then the snake becomes a truth teller, an intelligent truth teller. Another question I had was regarding gender of the snake. In the translations that I looked at, the snake was always referred to as a he. I too had always thought that the snake was male. Why? When most of us are young, we really don't know enough to question, so we accept. The snake, he lured Eve. He was cunning. He was shrewd. He was evil. what if the snake was female? Think about that for a minute. So the snake, she, was the most intelligent beast in the field. Doesn't that have a different flavor? It does for me. I think she would be more of a guardian or protector. She would want more out of Eve than just blind obedience. My third question is, why did Eve even listen to snake? When the snake told Eve she wasn't going to die, Eve had lots of ways she could have reacted. She could have simply walked away. She could have turned away. She could have continued on her way. She could have told the snake to leave her alone. She could have asked why the snake was talking in the first place, that animals couldn't talk. And if this were a movie made today, she probably would scream, "Holy terror," and run away, frightened to death. But what did she do? She listened. She respected the snake and took what the snake said seriously. And then, and only then, with the information the snake gave her, did she decide what to do. What were the consequences of Eve's choice? Vatere ha'isha kitov. She saw that it was good. Vatipakachna einei shnehem. And her eyes were open. So questions. Cunning versus intelligent. He versus she. Choosing versus blindly obeying. Never did I think I would be discovering more questions than answers. I just thought I'd learn the Hebrew and that would be it. But no. Through gentle guidance and weekly conversations with Gesher, I questioned my way into the mystical mystery of the Torah. A parade? Oh, parade in honor of our bar mitzvah, Mom. How did I go about finding answers, you may be asking yourself? Through conversations with Batya Cates, Melissa Schwartz, Shoshana Fiersteman, Rebbe Irwin, and Gesher. Through Hebrew guidance with Gesher and Sherry Brenner, and through art with Sharon Ziff and Mathilde Rothschild. All which led to books and websites and the use of my own imagination, like with Shoshana, who, after discussing the snake with me, suggested that I write letters to the snake and have the snake answer me. This was the mystical part that was so intriguing to me. Now, you might think this is too weird to write to a snake and have the snake write back. But after being with Diana for almost 43 years and being a witness to her PhD process at Meridian University, I was ready for this task to use my imagination. What Shoshana suggested wasn't weird to me at all. In fact, I embraced the idea and I started writing letters to the snake, if not every day, every other day, and she wrote back. And I'd like to share a couple of excerpts with you. Dear Snake, who are you and why were you there in the garden? Why did you contradict God? Clearly, you showed no fear. You told the truth and let Eve choose. You weren't demanding or threatening. Why did you intervene? What was in it for you? Some have said that you are the goddess. Are you? And why did they, the writers of the Torah, the writers of the Bible, why did they make us so afraid of you, women in particular? Why? When you just go about your business, not trying to hurt anyone unless you feel threatened. And here is the snake's reply. Dear Cher, Thank you for asking me all of these important questions. Most of the time, people think badly of me when all I did was ask Eve what would happen if she ate the fruit. And when she told me that God said she was going to die, I knew that wasn't true. She wasn't going to die. So that's what I told her. And I was right, right? So how does that make me evil? I'm not like a drug dealer who asks a young, vulnerable person if they want some drugs. The drugs lead to dependency, addiction, and sometimes death. That's who's evil. But me? I simply encouraged Eve to think about eating the fruit. Why? Because I knew her eyes would be opened. Never again would she be in her own world with all of her needs taken care of. She would be of the world. She would know struggle. She would know good and evil. And she would grow into herself. Now, here's a question for you, Sheridan. Why did God want her eyes to stay closed? So the truth. If you know the truth, should you tell the truth? What if people don't want to hear it? What if people turn it around and demonize you for telling the truth? We see examples of this every day, especially now that it's election season. Are the people who are telling the truth celebrated or demonized? Take a moment now and think about a time that you told the truth and the truth wasn't welcome. And see what arises for you. And if you're comfortable, why don't you pop into the chat what you told the truth about? Love, I am whole, family dynamics. I told my father and my brother I wasn't ready for kindergarten. My father told me it was none of my business. He was wrong. Being non-binary, I made my family stop singing Dixie. I told the truth about anti-Semitism and I was denied my truth. Violence, I was broken. I told the truth about my father and my family didn't want to hear it. I told the truth that all people matter and that we all have something in common. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. We have a lot in common with each other. Thank you, Steph. So, what are my takeaways from this whole process? I got the biggest life lesson from art. That's right, art. This is one of the most profound soul collage cards I've ever made. And soul collage is a way to take whatever images you choose and have those images speak to you through statements and questions. So there's a question, who are you? And here's how the card responded. I am the one who's diving into my bat mitzvah. I am the one who is jumping off a cliff. I am the one who knows I will have a soft landing. The last question of the card was, what else do you want Sheridan to know? And here's the answer from the card. At 65, it is so special to share your bat mitzvah with your mom. Keep your eyes on the whole process, not the little things that bug you. Be the snake in the tree that sees everything, not the snake on the ground that only sees feet. This last sentence may be the most important lesson, maybe of my whole journey. Be the snake in the tree that sees everything and not the snake that only sees feet. So here's a snake that only sees feet. Thank you to Erwin, who saw this snake on a walk. Take a pot of soup. You turn it on, you go about your business. You forget about it, and before you know it, it boils over. You've completely forgotten about it. And when you finally remember, you run to the kitchen and you see this big mess. The soup has boiled over onto the stove, down the sides, onto the floor. The pot is empty, save for the burned bottom. What a mess. Now, if I were the snake, only looking at feet, I might say, bad soup. How could you make a mess like this? However, if I were the snake in the tree, I might say, wow, someone forgot to turn the fire down. Look at the mess that caused. What makes the most sense? The snake who only looks at feet, as in blame the soup for the mess? Or the snake in the tree and look for the cause of the mess in the kitchen? How can we apply this analogy to our current times in our families, country, or world today? What comes up for you? What are some things that you think we need to look at from a higher vantage point, as if we were the snake in the tree? And if you're comfortable, why don't you pop your one-word answer into the chat? Our racist heritage, politics, climate, not us and them, we're in this together. Being stuck at home, racism. When there's a conflict, there's a need for a bigger idea, responsibility. Thank you, everybody. Patience, caring, soul-crushing losses suffered by poor and working people. The love of God. Thank you. When I ask that same question of myself, the Black Lives Matter movement comes up for me. Here I am, the snake on the ground, only looking at feet. And after the George Floyd murder, I see the rioting, the looting, the rage. This is the soup that had reached its boiling point and has boiled over. Now, as the snake in the tree, this is what I see. Another murder of another Black man at the hands of yet more police. Years and years and years of Blacks being mistreated, misunderstood, misinterpreted. And if we are truly the snake in the tree, I ask, what actions can we take to turn down the flame or turn it off altogether? In closing, I'd like to thank 3 people. Gesher. We thought it was going to be bat mitzvah lessons. Well, at least I did. But our discussions morphed into art and philosophy and lessons from Aikido and turned into a lifelong friendship. Thank you, Gesher. Mom, you were truly an inspiration to me when I saw how dedicated you were, not only to learning your Torah portion, but you'd share with me why certain words were singular, why some were plural, and the roots of some of the words. Oi! We met 3 times a week, and we had a lot of fun together, Mom. And maybe we even got to know each other better, too. I love you, Mom. And most of all, I want to thank my most beautiful wife, Diana. You supported my journey 100%, and you were always there to question me, to push me, and to listen to my joys and my heartache. Thank you, Di. I love you so much. And with that, I leave you this.
Hello, everyone. This is Snake, goddess of the garden. I am speaking to you today to present a different perspective than maybe what you have been taught. Many people call me the devil. They say that I am shrewd and cunning and manipulative. How can that perception be so far from the truth? Do you know my history before the story of the Garden of Eden was written? I was prayed to, prayed over, held in high esteem. Shaman would use me in their visualizations, and I would lead them into other worlds. It is through me that much healing has manifested. As an example, look at the DNA molecule. See those curves? That is me. When I entered the garden, I was there to help Eve come into her own self-actualization. Before me, Eve was unaware of herself as a separate being with her own thoughts and feelings. Some say I tempted Eve. Let's turn that around. Think of it like this. I presented Eve with a choice. She had to decide what to do. She had the opportunity to practice free will. She came into her own with that choice. It saddens me that others have turned her choice of independence into a choice of disobedience. Have you ever had to make a decision that went against what your family wanted or what society expected? If you have, and I suspect you have at least once, it was because of me. You don't believe me? Look at your spine. I am inside you. I am you, goddess of the garden. Be like Eve. Open your eyes. Weigh your options. Exercise your free will. Choose.
Vatere haisha kitov, Vatere haisha kitov, Vatere haisha kitov, Vatere haisha kitov, Vatipakachna eine shnehem, Vatipakachna einehem, ותפקחנה עיני שניהם, ותפקחנה עיניהם. The woman saw that it was good. 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 And now our eyes are open. And now our eyes are open wide. And now our eyes are open. And now our eyes are open wide. ותראה האישה כי טוב. ותראה האישה כי טוב. ותראה האישה כי טוב. ותראה האישה כי טוב.
Thank you, Atsila. Thank you, Diana. I'm just overwhelmed, and I think we all are. What beautiful Torah from you, Sheridan, and from you, Sharlya. Just our eyes are open in new ways today than they have been ever. We want to offer you both some blessings, and so I wanted to on the Temple Emanuel side. Is there someone here who is authorized for offering a blessing? If so, just unmute. I'm not sure who you are.
What would be, I can't hear him. What did he say? Oh. He's thanking you for something.
Are we doing Birkat Kohanim?
No, I didn't know if there was somebody, if you have somebody at Temple Emanuel that would offer Sharlya a blessing. Otherwise, we'll take care of it.
It's just us. We're the only ones in the whole building.
Oh.
So, would you like to, Rev Erwin?
Yes,
I'd love to
of
hear
course.
what your.
But we're gonna start with. I'd like to invite our president, Amy Gray, to offer a couple of words. Amy.
Thank you, Reb Erwin. Thank you, Sheridan and Sharlya. Wow, amazing. Thank you. So I'm going to read some words from Rav Ami, who was a 3rd century Rebbe in Tiberias. And he said this to his students. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. And may you trust in generations past and yet to be. May your heart be filled with intuition and your words be filled with insight. May songs of praise ever be upon your tongue and your vision be a straight path before you. May your eyes shine with the light of holy words and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. Thank you so much for sharing your beauty and your wisdom with all of us. Welcome officially to the people Israel, although you've been part of our people for your whole lives. And appreciate all the blessings you bring to us. Thank you.
And along with Amy's words come certificates. You can open that up, Sheridan, if you'd like.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Here you go. And there's one for you, and there's one for your mom. That was your institutional mazel tov.
Thank you.
Next comes from the blessing from your own household. Diana?
Wow. Got it? Okay. Oh, I gotta catch my breath here. So emotional, beautiful. Shar and Cher, what a journey. And I'm so happy for both of you, really. You were exquisite. I mean, you did it with dedication and discipline and grace. And I'm the only one here who had the good fortune to witness the both of you for the last several months. And you worked so hard at getting your prayers memorized and all the details that went into it. But most importantly, I admire how you work together and share how you took your mom through many sessions of what I call Zoom love. You were patient and supportive and encouraging and worked so lovingly with her. You know, to use the metaphor of making it to the top of the mountain, what a daughter you are and you were during that time. You made sure you would get to the top of the mountain together. Your love was beautiful to watch. It was truly an accomplishment for both of you. I mean, I was there listening through the doors. You know, you both have been blessed already, right? To have been on this journey together. You both have been tested. Not only did you survive, but you thrived. I mean, look at you. You have these special memories to hold on to. My blessings to you is that you know that you are wise and worthy and powerful women. You are role models to so many now. You have a story to tell, so I want you to tell that story. And Shar, you have in the light, Shar. We saw you, we see you. May this experience give you comfort to shine more of your light. Share my love. No looking back, only forward. Any obstacles or any self-doubt in your path have been steamrolled here today. Steamrolled. Go out in your life and soar as you are right here, right now. May your voice and your music soar even higher. May Creator and your spirits continue to show you the path of your light and your free will. I love you always. So proud of you. So proud of both of you. May you both be blessed with peace, love, happiness, and health. Blessings.
In a moment, Rabbi Shefrin and I are going to be offering the priestly blessing to Sharlya and Sheridan, and I have a few words also. But I would like us all to take the moment to offer some words of blessing. And so whatever comes to you, whatever word or phrase of blessing, I'd like to ask you to put it in the chat right now. It doesn't have to be your omnibus set of thoughts and wishes for Sharlya and Sheridan. Whatever is bubbling up for you right now based on this moment of the world and what you experience today. A shower of blessings, like a congregation showering you with candy, with sweetness on this beautiful day. Sheridan and Sharlya, I keep saving the chat over and over, so I'll make sure that you have it and you can read every single blessing. But for this last moment before we close, I want to remind you both to breathe and take in all that you've experienced today, all you've witnessed, all people have given you, and to be proud of all you've given them. You've given us a joyful moment in a time that is so hungry for joyful moments. You have done something daring and perfectly reasonable. You have undone old prohibitions. You have modeled how to grow and learn at any age, how to be in relationship, how to take ownership and reveal mastery, how to bring your gifts to the Mishkan and offer them so that the divine might truly dwell among all of us. It is interesting and fitting that for your shared bat mitzvah as mother and daughter, you chose the particular Torah that you chanted and interpreted today, our great mythical stories of God birthing the world in light, and then of the first human mother, the great mother, who chose not only to pass on the gift of life itself, but made sure that knowledge, that the light of consciousness was part of the package. The pairing of creation and light, birth and awareness. This is the gift you have brought us in choosing to study Torah together, in choosing to revisit these stories and repossess them, rehash them, and re-release the old new wisdom into the universe. You have once again, like the great mother, given us life and light bundled up together. Sheridan, this community has become accustomed to receiving your gifts, the music that pours through your fingertips and your breath. We have become accustomed to your gentle and insistent spirit, the way you always give your best and your kindest, the way you nudge others to be their best and to reveal their most beautiful selves. We have become accustomed to the light your family brings, Diana's depth and poetry, and now your mother too. Sharlya, now that we meet you, we see how Sheridan's light is sourced. The pair of you are a great gift, and the relationship you have with each other, a great gift for us. Today is not the end point of your process together, but a milestone on the way. May you continue to learn together for years to come, to read more Torah together and for us, to pool your creative energy, and may we continue to be the happy beneficiaries. Today's usual Haftarah portion, the Haftarah portion for this week, includes a phrase that we all know well at Ner Shalom. Hoi kol tzameh, hoi kol tzameh lechu lamayim. Yo, whoever is thirsty, come to the water, come to the water. We live in a parched time. Thank you, Sharlya and Sheridan, for bringing us once again to the water. So Rabbi Shefrin, if you're ready.
Yes.
What are we doing now? Oh, you're blessing us. Okay.
Yivarechechen Adonai v'yishmerechen.
May God
Ya'er Adonai panav elechen v'yichuneken.
May God's radiance illuminate you, and may you live in grace.
Yisa Adonai panav elechen v'yasem lechen shalom.
May you experience life as if you were looking at God face to face. And may all of your paths be ones filled, overflowing, and intimately knowing Shalom, knowing peace. Can you hear Ratzon? May it be God's will.
Ken Yehi Ratzon. Okay, we've been sitting together for a long time. We're going to do the closing bits, and then we'll have time for a little kiddush and for us to chat and mazel tov you together over Zoom. Our Aleinu is on page 16. On page 16. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shenatan lanu torat emet, v'chaye olam nata betochenu, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We continue with the Mourner's Kaddish, which is on page 17. If you have a yortzeit, or you are in Shiva or Shloshim or year of a close loss, please feel free to put that person's name in the chat. So let me ask, whoever would like to speak Kaddish into the room, feel free to unmute, and we will have the holy waves of sound rolling together of all of our voices, all the voices of those who are in mourning today. Page 17. Yit gadal,
Yidal,
Gadash,
Yidkadash,
Abba,
Rabba,
Be'alma,
Balmad,
Yivra,
Yivra, Yirute, Vayamlik,
Malchute,
Makute,
B'chayechon,
Vahayehon,
Yomechon,
Yomechon, Uvchaye, Decho, Bet
Beit
Israel,
Israel,
Ba'agala,
Ba'agalam,
Uvisman,
Karim,
Karib,
Amen.
Ve'imru, Amen.
Yeh Shmei Rabba,
Yeheshame,
Le'olam
Barak,
Le'olam,
Leolam, Ulame,
Barak,
Amaya.
Shabbat,
Yet Barak, Viet Shabbat, Viet
Mam,
Par, Viet
Ve'yam,
Roma, Viet
Yas,
Nase,
Ale,
Viet
Yit,
Hadar, Viet Ale, Viet Halal, Shmei Dekusha, Berik Hu, Le'elam, Bim, Bechol, Vihata, Vashirata, Tush Behata, Vanechamata, Da Amiran, Leoman, Vimru, Amen.
Amin, Shmaya,
Yehi Shlama Rabba, Shamaya V'chaim, Aleinu V'echol Yisrael,
Shalom,
Vimru, Amen.
Yas,
Ose
Shalom,
Shalom, Bimrama, Hu
Amen,
Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'echol Israel, V'echol B'Svei Tevel,
Amen.
Vimru, Amen.
Ose Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. want to thank everyone for being here in all the distant corners of this fractal-shaped Zoom room of ours, of this Heichal, this palace of many rooms. I want to thank Suzanne Schanbaum, our technical producer, for all she did to make today run in both the Zoom realm and kind of the physical realm at the same time, which is very tricky to do. I want to thank Doron Chova for being our Torah cam today on site. And to thank Rabbi Shefrin and the folks at Temple Emanuel in Sarasota, Florida, for all of their support, for all of their love, and for our being able to be here in community together and to make this Heichal, this palace, that much bigger and that much more beautiful. And Sharlya and Sheridan, thank you for all you bring and all we both anticipate and require that you keep bringing, because this is not the last time you are going to be reading Torah for us. Thank you for stepping into this new realm, into these new shoes, into this new leadership. We love you. So we're going to close with Yismechu Hashamayim, from Psalm 96, and that's on page 18 of your handout. And then Rabbi Shefrin will lead us in a Kiddush together, and then we can have our beautiful Oneg Shabbat, our beautiful time of nibbling and chatting together and mazel toving Sharlya and Sheridan. Suzanne?
ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו.
That was the Good Shabbos Band. We miss having all of you together in one space. Also want to thank all the people who made music today and participated, led things, Leah and Lorenzo and Susie and Atsila, and also to thank, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Suzanne
for the Amidah.
For making music, that beautiful music. That was Suzanne making music during the Amidah. And thank you to Shoshana for leading last night's beautiful Erev Shabbat. I was hiding in the back of the room with a pseudonym, with a zoomonym. Rabbi Shefrin.
Pleasure. Friends, if you have a Kiddush Kef at home, please raise it up high towards the heavens. Let us exclaim our joy on this Shabbat. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael tashabat la'asot tashabat l'dorotam b'rit olam. V'eni uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Ki sheshit yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz. U'vayom hashvi'i shavat v'yinafash. Al ken berach Adonai et yom hashvat v'kadshehu savri chaverai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen L'chaim, friends.
L'chaim.
All right.
L'chaim. And also thank you to our Zoom Shamus team today. Cindy Norwitz doing all of this spotlight, working the follow spot. And Leah Bowden doing all of the pasting into the chat. Thank you, the two of you. L'chaim, everybody. Should we make a little motzi?
Sure, we have bread. So we have some challah here. Too bad you guys can't share it. It's from Oliver's. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
B'tei avot.
Eat well, everyone.
Yismahu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz Yeram hayam u'melech Yismahu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz Yeram hayam u'melech Yemamamai, mamai, yemamamai, mamai, yemamamai, mamamai, mamamai, mamai, yemamamai, mamai, yemamamai, mamai, yemamamai, mamamai, mamamai, Yismahu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz Yeram hayam u'melech Yismahu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz Yeram hayam u'melech Yemamamai, mamai, yemamamai, mamai, yemamamai, mamamai, mamamai, mamai, 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 yemamamai, mamai.